Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. Welcome back to my channel guys. I hope that all of you are having a good day. Yesterday I did a review of one of Armaf's fragrances called Odyssey Oud. And in this video today I'm going to take a look at the last 8th member of the Odyssey line of fragrances from Armaf called Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. This is a very accurate clone of Dior Sauvage EDT. So as usual in this video I'm going to tell you how Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition smells, how it performs, how much I paid for it, how close it is to the original, and then at the end of the video I'm going to tell you whether this fragrance is actually worth checking out. Let's quickly take a look at the packaging of Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition from Armaf. The fragrance comes packaged in this golden and black colored box. On the front you got this sort of a nice art of a tiger who's crawling through a sort of a grassy field. On the front also you got the name of the fragrance, the name of the company, the concentration EDP. On one of the other sides you get the bottle size 100 milliliters. On the back you get the Armaf logo and the Sterling logo, the sort of parent company of Armaf. And on the bottom there's a production date, which is in this case is May of 2023. And then this is how the bottle looks. As you can see, it has the exact same design and shape as with the all other members of the Odyssey line. That goofy design. You got a plastic cap that feels kind of cheap, but at least it's a snug fit. But one thing I really like about this fragrance is the unique sort of an art design that you get on the bottle. Again, like with the box itself, you got this tiger who's crawling through a grassy field. I really like the way that this looks. And because of that, despite the goofy design and all that, I will give a packaging and bottle design rating of 9 out of 10 points. If you enjoy my videos guys, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Okay, now let's talk about the scent of this fragrance, and I'll show you the spray in action as well. But when it comes to a note breakdown of this fragrance, at least as per Fragrantica, the top notes are black pepper, bergamot, lemon and mint. The middle notes are vetiver, pink pepper, lavender and ginger, and the base notes are again vetiver, sandalwood, cedar, musk and patchouli. I'll show you the spray in action. The spray is kind of weak, and I think that's down to the fact that it just does not have enough travel to it, so you definitely need to adjust the number of sprays in order to get the the desired amount of fragrance onto yourself. Okay, now let's talk about the scent of this fragrance. Immediately after spraying, if you know the scent of the original Dior Sauvage EDT, you'll immediately recognize that this is trying to be that. You get that spicy opening, you get quite a strong black pepper note, but the one thing that I feel here is the fact that it feels a little bit fresher, a little bit fresh and a little bit citrusy. The lemon and the mint are definitely in here in the opening, which gives this fragrance a nice sort of a spicy, slightly sweet yet citrusy and fresh opening. The dry down becomes more woody, some of that spiciness starts to go away. There's definitely some amber on the dry down of this fragrance because it becomes a little bit sweeter. You get the sandalwood, you get the cedar. And I also pick up ambroxan, which is not listed in the fragrance, but it's definitely there. If I have to score the actual scent profile of this fragrance, now just keep in mind that I've said that numerous times, but I absolutely love the original Sauvage EDT. I'm a big time lover of this DNA, so I'm a bit biased, but I will give the scent of this fragrance a score of 9 out of 10 points. And now let's talk about the big question of how close this actually is to the original fragrance. And I'll tell you that this is probably the best clone of Sauvage EDT that I have ever tried, meaning the closeness to the original scent. They have a few tiny differences. For example, the Sauvage EDT to my nose feels slightly less spicy in the opening and slightly sweeter compared to Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. This thing feels slightly fresher, slightly more citrusy. But on the dry down they become even similar and they're almost identical, but still there's that tiny little difference of the Sauvage EDT carrying a little bit more amber sweetness, where this carries some amber sweetness but also carries some fruity sweetness and freshness on the dry down. But all in all, this is super close, and if I have to rate the closeness to the original scent, I'll give it a rating of 9.5 out of 10. It's that close. When we talk about the performance, the original fragrance, especially the original formulation of Sauvage EDT, which I have a bottle of, is a very strong fragrance, long lasting with great projection. This unfortunately is not as good of a performer, but still it's not a bad performer either. I get somewhere around about the 7.5 to 8 hours of performance on my skin out of this fragrance, with nice projection in the first hour and a half. So as far as the performance goes, I will give this fragrance a score of 8 out of 10. When we talk about the versatility, now the original fragrance is known as one of the versatile kings when it comes to men's fragrances, because that scent is very likable and can work anytime, anywhere. And since Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition is such a close scent-wise, it's so close scent-wise to the original, it carries exactly the same amount of versatility. It's super versatile, can be worn anytime, anywhere, for any kind of occasion, date, night, you know, throughout the day, throughout the night, in the office, on a night out, it doesn't matter. This thing just works pretty much every time you spray it. So when it comes to versatility, the versatility scoring of this fragrance is a 10 out of 10. And on to my final thoughts and final score of Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. Now, this is, as I said, the best clone of Sauvage EDT that I have ever tried, but unfortunately, they're only, you know, in order for me to recommend that fragrance to you, you have to meet certain criteria. First of all, you either have to be a big time lover like me of the Sauvage original Sauvage EDT EDP scent DNA in order to get this one, because if you are a big time lover, you probably already have a few clones of Sauvage EDT. But again, this is the best that I've tried. So if you love that original DNA like me, then definitely check out Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. Also, if you like the original but you have never pulled the trigger on a clone and you want to get your hands on a good clone or the best clone out there scent wise, again, definitely check out Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. And maybe the third condition that you need to meet in order for me to recommend this to you is if you are a collector and or you already own a few clones but you just want to get you know, all of the clones of Sauvage EDT into your collection, then again, definitely check out Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. Unfortunately, this is sort of a this fragrance, I think, feels like a victim of the markets. You know, that original DNA has been overplayed so many times. There are probably countless amount of clones of Sauvage EDT on the markets, and it's really hard for any new clone to actually stand out among all the other clones. Even Armaf themselves, probably at the current time, they sell like maybe 5 or 6 different Sauvage EDT clones, and that's why I think this is really hard to recommend. But still, if you're looking for the thing that, at least in my experience so far, will get you the closest to Sauvage EDT, definitely check out Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. The final score for this fragrance from me is a 9 out of 10, and this fragrance gets a love. So guys, in today's video I showed you what I think currently is the best clone of Sauvage Dior Sauvage EDT from Armaf called Odyssey Wild One Gold Edition. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.